Hey everyone, welcome back with another session of history. So in this session we will continue the same chapter, that is the earliest societies. Now previous day we have discussed about the Stone Age and the different Stone Age sites, and I also gave an introduction of the Paleolithic period, that is the Old Stone Age. Okay, now today we will discuss about the different divisions of the Paleolithic age. Alright, now the Paleolithic period was the longest period of the Stone Age, and it has been further divided into three periods. Alright, now the three periods are lower or the early Paleolithic period, middle Paleolithic period, and upper or late Paleolithic period. Now if we see, each of these phases of the Paleolithic age is differentiated on the basis of the tools that developed during each phase. Alright, now let's see them one by one. First we have, that is the lower or the early period, that is the Paleolithic age. Now in this age, what were the characteristics of the tools? The simple tools that were relatively blunt, basically the stones that they used those kinds of things as their tools. Now what are the types of tools they used? Choppers, hand axes and cleavers. These were the different types of tools they have used in this period. Now if we see some early Paleolithic sites, we get all the proofs and evidences from the Shivalik range of the Himalayas and the Swan River Valley. So in these areas we got all the evidences and proofs about the early Paleolithic period. Now if we see the middle Paleolithic period, so it was relatively the polished version. So tools were smaller, thinner and much lighter than the tools of the previous period. Now the different types of tools that they used, these are the basically scrapers and borers. Alright, so these scrapers and borers along with all these very small tools known as microliths, so also developed during this period. Now if we say scraper, so what is a scraper? So scraper is basically nothing, it's just a stone tool that has been chipped to keep one side sharp, so it can be held together. Okay, so one side sharp. So now different Paleolithic, middle Paleolithic sites, suppose the Swan River Valley, Narmada River Valley and the Tungabhadra River Valleys. So in these areas we got all the evidences of this middle Paleolithic period. Alright, now if we move on to the upper period, so basically this is the most polished version, refined and polished tools in comparison to the previous stone periods. Now in this period, different types of tools such as blades and burins, these were done. So burin is nothing, a flint tool with a chisel point. This is a burin. Alright, so these were done. And the upper Paleolithic sites such as Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh, Chota Nagpur Plateau in Jharkhand we have. So these are the different upper period Paleolithic sites. Alright, now when we talk about these different Paleolithic ages, so quite naturally the things that comes up in mind, that is the different methods of how the early men they created different tools in this period. Alright, one was that the first one that we have, that is hitting one stone with another. Now what is this? The method, so basically the method of creating stone tools were very crude. Understood? Now one method was this hitting one stone with another. Okay, so the method was to creating stone tools by hitting with one stone with another stone until it took the desired shape. This was one method. Another is the pressure flaking. Yes, now what is this pressure flaking? So in this method the stone was trimmed to acquire the desired shape. How? So instead of constantly hitting the stone was placed on a hard surface. Alright, and then another stone was placed on top of it at a certain angle. Now the second stone was then hit with another stone to give the stone tool the desired shape. So this was all about the pressure flaking. Alright, so these were the two methods by which the early men created different kinds of tools in this Paleolithic period. Now the most important fact, that is the discovery of fire. Yes, so fire was the most significant discovery of early humans. Understood? It was the most significant discovery of the early humans. Now, fire was discovered by accident. It was not that somebody came up and invented fire, discovered fire and just went. No, it was basically discovered by accident. How? Suppose while rubbing two stones, basically some early men, they were rubbing two stones, and early humans saw sparks were flying out of it. Alright, now these sparks somehow came in contact with the dry leaves, and that causing a fire. Alright, now when they saw this, they got scared. Alright, and they ran away and waited for it to burn out. Alright, now they eventually found out that animals were also scared of fire and they did not come near it. So they understood it. So gradually they discovered that they could use fire for various purposes. Now, which are the various purposes? First, the fire could give them light in the night. Second, they could keep them warm. And third, it also be used to cook food. Alright, so these are the different purposes that they understood that fire could be useful to them. Alright, now more significant than the discovery of fire was that how the early human, they learned to control fire. They learned to control fire and use it to their advantage. Alright, this was the much more significant than the fire, that how they learn to control it and what is their utility. They use it according to its advantages. So these were also very useful things. Alright, now next move on to the next topic, that is early cave paintings. Okay, now many cave paintings have been found that belong to the Stone Age. Alright, now most of these paintings, they depict the everyday life of people, and it include images of suppose hunting, dancing or something, or performing some rituals and all these things. Okay, now early humans may have painted these images to express themselves, or maybe these images may have been created to mark some ceremony. Okay, so these were the reasons behind of these early cave paintings. Alright, now if we see for an example, one such example is Bhimbetka, that is in Madhya Pradesh. It is the home of the oldest cave paintings. Alright, now let's discuss about it. Now this Bhimbetka in Madhya Pradesh, it is the home to the oldest cave paintings that date back to the prehistoric times. Alright, and in accordance to it, UNESCO declared the Bhimbetka cave as a World Heritage Site. So this is very useful thing. Okay, so these cave paintings, now who discovered all these cave paintings? So these cave paintings were discovered by V.S. Wakankar, and he exhibited the different traces of early human life in India. Alright, now this art depicted in the cave paintings of Bhimbetka is quite similar to the art found in the cave paintings of the Bushmen in Kalahari. Alright, along with that, the Lascaux cave paintings in France. Alright, the Lascaux cave paintings in France. So these were all similar to all this. Okay. Now, if you see the features of these cave paintings, okay, a unique feature of the Bhimbetka cave paintings is that these paintings are not engraved. But these have been made by using some sort of color. Alright, now the question arises quite naturally, how the early man got colors. Colors were not invented like that. Artificial colors that we have right now, watercolors and pastel, those things were not there. How they did? Let's see. Now colors like red, white, green and ochre have been used in the paintings that are basically centered around the day-to-day life. So which are the colors that they used? Red, white, green and ochre. That is a version of yellow, you can say. Okay, so they used all these colors. And what they depicted? The day-to-day life, all the activities of the day-to-day life. Now these colors, how they created these colors may have been created by powdering certain rocks, alright, powdering certain rocks, or using suppose plant-based dyes, alright, and then making a paste by using water, and in some cases they also used animal fat. So all these things they used and they made the color, and they what? Painted all their things in these caves. Alright, now another important information for you guys, that is, do you know guys, at Bhimbetka caves there is a painting of a huge bison attacking a man. See the picture here. Alright, this painting of huge bison attacking a man, it is only visible when the rays of the sun fall on it at a specific angle. Only then you can see this. Otherwise, if normal people go and stand over there, they will be unable to see this. They can't see basically. Alright, until and unless the sun rays falls at a specific angle. So see how how creative they were. Okay, so that's all we have in this session. I hope you liked it. So in the next session we will discuss about the other ages, that is the Mesolithic age and the Neolithic age. Okay, till then, bye bye.